motion here. Councillor Coker, you've got a note, emissions thermometer idea here.
Not much to say to this. This was brought to my attention from by a resident, Paul Brodie, who actually comes to council to talk about climate change a lot. And I think this is a great idea. I know the advice from staff is maybe we don't get enough data to update it as often as we might like, which in itself I think is possibly an issue that we could be highlighting. But this doesn't need to be something that is costly. I think it's just about trying to get into the public's mind, the general public's mind, a bit more about what our targets are, where we're currently at has been measured in terms of emissions, and to try and encourage people to think about what they're doing every day. And yeah, this could be something quite small. It doesn't need to be expensive. So I think it would be good to look into this and to, we do have we have our 2030 goals to halve emissions. So I think highlighting that through this would be good. So it's pretty simple, really.
Yeah, I mean it's asking for advice. So you're really supporting it in principle, pending advice from staff on the mechanics of it, I suppose. Any other questions on this, Councillor Moore?
Thank you. Just wondering if it's worthwhile noting somewhere that you're looking for something reasonably simple and straightforward, not something overly complex and expensive, because local government and indeed central government can get a bit carried away on these things.
You've
and
got
make them
a
more complicated than they need to be.
You could paint something up for us.
Well, there's an example of what kind of information could be contained in one. What might be good in terms of advice is to get some options. I mean, it could be something that's even just electronic potentially, but I think it would be nice to have some static signs, even if they're small somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think just lots of options would be good.
Add the word in on the approximate design, cost and location.
And maybe a range of.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not looking for this to be an expensive
So I
thing.
would assume that you might work closely with a staff member on what you're wanting somehow.
Yeah. Nice one.
Okay. So pending advice.
Did you want design, cost and location? Sort of me?
And that has to be agreed by the majority of the meetings. It's a
Yep.
notice of motion we're dealing with.
Do you want the word design in there? Okay, so supports pending advice from staff on approximate cost, design and location. Okay, it hasn't been moved yet. You're moving it. It hasn't been seconded yet, so that's okay to change that.
Approximate cost, the design, the approximate cost stay together, so it's design separate.
Yep, thank you. All right, do you have a seconder for that? Oh, there's a whole pile of them. Who do you want to second it? Councillor Donovan? Councillor Donovan. Councillor Fields, you got the last one, so I think you've got a share. All right, is there any debate, any discussion on this? Councillor Johansson?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to the council for bringing it to our attention. I'm really supportive of this. This is something that I did raise almost a decade ago as well, when we were looking at our climate smart strategy. And I think the idea of having a climate clock is really important. I think the concept of having an ability for people also locally to be able to see what impact their actions are having on our emissions and being measured publicly is a really important tool in just creating that awareness. So I'm really open to what this may look like, but I just wanted to acknowledge that it's been brought back to us today, and I'm very supportive of it. I think it will be a really good thing to have as a city.
Thank you. Councillor Fields?
Yes, it's a great initiative by Councillor Coker, and I'm absolutely supportive of it. You know, they say what isn't measured isn't managed, and we're measuring something, and I think it's really important to be able to create that visually for our citizens who may not necessarily have the idea of emissions front of mind. Who knows, we might even see people competing to turn their SUVs into Teslas and and it's our very own version of the doomsday clock. So I'm absolutely I'm supportive of that and a good initiative, and it doesn't need to be high tech either. You can do things like this quite simply. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you. All right, I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Opposed, that's carried. So on the supplementary agenda, we do have one more notice of motion. We've only got 3 minutes before lunch. What do you think?
I can do this pretty quickly.